Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse, The Darkest Knight. The Darkest Knight is essentially the Batman Who Laughs in a new form. He looks pretty creepy. This wave is from the story Speed Metal. It's an offshoot of the Dark Knight's Metal and all that fun stuff. This is a Flash-themed wave. We've got Wally West, Jake Garrick, Kid Flash, and Barry Allen, and they're all in pretty unusual, colorful type costumes. So let's take a look at the packaging of one of these guys. Here's Wally West, DC Multiverse, Collector Build, The Darkest Knight, 20 points of articulation, McFarlane Toys, ages 12. You can see the arms of the Darkest Knight. Backside here, here's the Darkest Knight. Here are the pieces come with this figure, checklist of all the pieces, and the rest of the wave. In this video, we'll take a look at the assembly of the Darkest Knight, and we'll check them out next to a bunch of other figures, and check out the entire wave, although I'll do individual videos on each of the figures. And here's the back of the packaging of all the figures. Pretty similar. They're all based around the Darkest Knight. So with no further ado, let's open them up and assemble this Darkest Knight. Alright. Now that we got these figures out of the package, here they are, with all the pieces of the Dark Knight in front of you. Wally West comes with the Dark Knight's arms, Jake Garrick, his head, Kid Flash, his torso, and Barry Allen, the two legs. In this video, we're going to assemble this guy, check out his height and articulation, and then we'll compare him with an endless amount of other action figures. So, let's start off with Wally West. So here's Wally West. He's the original Kid Flash. He comes with the two arms of the Dark Knight. Next we have Jake Garrick. He's the original Flash, the Buckethead Flash. He comes with the Dark Knight's head. So far, we have the Dark Knight's head and arms. Can't actually assemble anything yet. Now we have Kid Flash. When I hear Kid Flash, I think Wally West, but that was a long time ago. This is the new Kid Flash, and he comes with the Dark Knight's torso. Now that we have his torso, we're able to start assembling this guy. Here's the torso with the head and the arms. This guy looks pretty sick so far. And finally, we have Barry Allen. This is a version of Flash that most people are familiar with. Well, maybe not the specific version of Barry Allen, but Barry Allen is, as far as I'm concerned, the main Flash out there. He comes with the Dark Knight's legs. So let's finally get this guy fully put together. So here he is, fully assembled, the Darkest Knight. He looks fantastic. Let's check him out. Start with his head here. It looks great. Sick, twisted, disturbing. The Man Who Laughs already was sick, twisted, and disturbing, but this is way much more so. Starting off with his ears, you can see they're cast in a semi-transparent plastic. He's got those wide eyes, articulated jaw. Open it up, you can see this white mouth inside. Very pleased. I love me an articulated jaw. The contrast between the black and the white just looks great. His body almost looks like it has this sort of goo all over it. He's kind of like a ghost or whatnot. He's got these extra pieces sort of coming up off him. Sculpting is pretty intricate, pretty elaborate all over this guy. Now, he is very thin. You can see how thin his legs and arms are. His posture is pretty bad. Knees are permanently bent. I wish you could just straighten him to see just how tall this guy could be. Then his back hunched over quite a bit, and his neck almost going straight forward. I guess that's the only real way to make this guy look presentable. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Overall, really cool figure. Not the version of the Batman Who Laughs that I needed a figure of, but they did a great job. He looks super cool. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Looks weird, looks good, and kinda scary. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the assembly, the figure, and his life accessories, now let's check out his height. And he's pretty tall. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 9.2 inches tall, which you can translate to about 23 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, about 10 inches tall. And in case you were curious how big he is, next to a standard 7-inch McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, here you go. Wally West is about the average size of a McFarlane figure. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side, up and down about that far. Can tilt his head from side to side. He's got that jaw articulation, big fan of that. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out about 90 degrees, maybe a hair less, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso, got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one on his waist, rotate around, forward and back, giving him mediocre range of motion in his torso area. I don't like how you can't sort of just straighten him up at least a little bit. His legs, they go out about this far. Not ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation is pretty good on this guy. Legs go forward about that far, back about that much, but of course the knees are always bent. Double jointed knees, they go all the way back. Then his ankle here, forward, back, tilt, rock. Doesn't really seem to have any rotation, not in the traditional sense. Then he has toe articulation. Here's the Batman Who Laughs in his standard form. And he eventually gets this new form, the Darkest Night, and he has incredible powers at this point. He's actively pursuing Wally West, as he really wants his Speed Force powers. Eventually, Wonder Woman also takes on another form. She takes on the Darkest Night. And just a closer look at the all-gold Anti-Crisis Wonder Woman taking on the Batman Who Laughs in the Darkest Night form. The entire multiverse is at stake right here. Now let's check them out next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other of the Batman Who Laughs figures. Here he is, next to the first McFarlane Batman Who Laughs figure. This is in their first assortment, part of the build of Batmobile wave. And here, next to McFarlane's the Batman Who Laughs with the screaming Sky Tyrant head. Then, with the Sky Tyrant version of the Batman Who Laughs, he has Hawkman's wings and armor. Here's the Darkest Night, next to the infected Batman. This is the Batman Who Laughs before he got his new costume. And here he is, next to the DC Direct, Batman the Adventures Continue, the Batman Who Laughs. Then, with these superpowers, Kenner Homage, the Batman Who Laughs. Here's my entire collection of the Batman Who Laughs figures. These are actually all by McFarlane Toys. The next Batman Who Laughs figure that's coming out, that's also going by McFarlane. It's part of the Mortal Kombat line. It's a variation of the new Cybot skin, and it actually should be coming out in about a week or so. Now let's check him out. Next to some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is with the rest of the Speed Metal Wave, Wally West, Jay Garrick, Kid Flash, and Barry Allen. Add in the Dark Flash, and these 6 figures are McFarlane's entire Speed Metal collection put together. And here he is, next to the previous Collective Build-A-Figure wave. This is the Arkham City Collective Build Solomon Grundy wave. Then, next to the Build-A-Figure wave before that, this is the Blackest Night wave, Collective Build Atrocitus. Here's the Darkness Knight, next to the original Team of Evil Batman from the Dark Knight's Metal. Then, with the Trinity from Death Metal. Now let's check him out, next to some other McFarlane Collective Build-A-Figures. Here he is, next to the Last Night on Earth Bane. Then, with the Dark Knight's Metal Merciless. And here, with the Suicide Squad's King Shark. And here, with the Dark Knight's Metal Darkfather. And here, with the Tard exclusive Batman Beyond Future's End Joker Batman Robot. And now, with the Batman The Dark Knight Returns Collective Build a Horse. Here he is, with the Justice League Endless Winter Frost King. And here he is, with the Blackest Night Atrocitus. They're a pretty similar height. Then, next to the Arkham City Solomon Grundy. And this is presumably going to be the next Build-A-Figure to complete. This is the Target exclusive Crime Syndicate Star the Conqueror. Just need one last piece. Here's the entire collection of McFarlane collected Build-A-Figures. Star should be the next one to complete, and I actually don't really have a clue what the next Build-A-Figure wave is going to be after this. But I'm looking forward to finding out. Here's the Darkest Night, next to several different McFarlane Mega figures. He's about as tall as Killer Croc, or Man-Bat, taller than Clayface, but not close to Titan Joker. Typically Mega figures are a little bigger than the Build-A-Figures. Their overall body mass is way bigger than this Darkest Night figure. He's quite thin. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Today, I got the Speed Metal wave. Yesterday, I found at Target all the Target exclusive gold label figures. We have the Justice League Endless Winter Wonder Woman, Changing of the Guard, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, Defiance Deathstroke, and the Black Adam movie, Black Adam with Throne. And I'm on a roll, because the day before that, I found the Arkham City Collected Build Solid Grindy wave at Target. Here's the Darkest Night, next to the most recent wave of Page Punchers. This is Series 3, a Flash-themed wave. We've got Flash, the Atom, Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, and Heatwave. Then, with Series 2 of Page Punchers, the Injustice 2 Batman and Green Arrow. And here, with the first wave of Page Punchers, this is a Black Adam wave. Batman, Superman, Black Adam, and Constantine. I'm still waiting on my black and white version of Black Adam to ship from Walmart. Has anyone else ordered it from there recently? Did you order ship? I pre-ordered a long time ago, and my order seems to be stuck. It asks like it's in stock right now. I'm wondering if I cancel my order, reorder him, will he ship? Drop me a line in the comments below if you have an order of him going on. And what's the status? Here he is, with the most recent wave of Mega figures, at least before Gorilla Grodd. This is Bane and Necron. And here he is, next to the Walmart exclusive gold label versions of the Speed Metal Dark Flash, the Rebirth Shazam, the Nightfall Azrael Batman armor, and the Parallax Hal Jordan. Then, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Hush Superman, and the Target exclusive Batman the Animated Series 30th Anniversary Batman. Here's the Darkest Night, next to the Rebirth Deathstroke and the Court of Owl's Talon. And here he is, next to the Speeding Bullets Batman and the Dark Knight's Metal Batrocidus. Then, with the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack. And now, next to the Infinite Frontier Scarecrow, the Future State Superman, and the New 52 Static. And here he is, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label paint variants of the Arkham Knight Scarecrow and Red Hood. And finally, next to the Black Adam movie wave, which I think is finally complete. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale, although this guy's quite a bit taller. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing next to some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, with some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, he's a really cool looking figure. But is he necessary? I'm gonna say no, not really. That being said, the figure looks fantastic. His head, his entire body, the weird sort of demon or ghost look to him. Very cool. Very skinny and lanky. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. No issues there. Articulation is pretty good. Maybe a little bit limited. I wish you could straighten out some of this guy. Accessories are non-existent. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, which is higher than I ever anticipated rating this figure. When they announced him and the entire speed metal wave, I was just really not very excited. But in hand, they're all really, really nice. This guy would be great for an enemy for Constantine or Spawn. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comments section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.